What up, what up, what up, Gumbo Nation? On this week's Gumbo Nation, the guests will be entertained.
When we last left the Gumbo Nation, Dwayne Stein was en route to a championship baseball game.
Right. Unfortunately, he's here this week and not in Sulphur due to...
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. What up, YouTube? Checking in. LinkedIn checking in. Facebook checking in. Hair on my microphone checking in. Now, I have no hair, but how did a long hair get on my mic? See, sometimes, Dave, my employees like to pretend. They think this is easy.
Wait, did you say you had a hair on your microphone?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't exactly. And it's a long hair, and my beard's not long. And it was gray. So now, if my hair was long, it would be gray.
All right, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Make sure you clear your throat. Somebody's going to tune in. What the hell are these guys' problems?
Right.
Broadcasting to the Gumbo Nation for over 6 years, providing education and options to listeners throughout the Gulf Coast and across the nation. Mortgage Gumbo is brought to you live weekly by the Total Home Authority, Team Title, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Solar Alternatives, TWFG Biden Cough Insurance Group, The Fence King, Mosquito Joe, and 360 Home Inspections. Mortgage Gumbo is the leading authority for all things home related. So let's spice up that bowl of mortgage awareness with the man who is high in mortgage knowledge, yet height and hair challenged. The man who only knows how to put the client first. The true definition of a face for radio. Leader of the Gumbo Nation, Dwayne Stein.
What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. And if you want to join the show, 504-260-0995, or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. On the show today, we are going to break down by product how much home, when you're looking at it, how much home should I buy in relation to what my income is. So we're going to discuss that on today's show, because I've got folks who make the same $40,000 salary, and I got somebody that'll want to buy a $300,000 house, and I got somebody that'll want to buy a $75,000 house. So we're going to educate you on what that number is. and it's called debt-to-income ratio. So I'm going to explain how that works, and we're going to break it down in detail as our main topics later on the show. So, look, last week, hey, I did a little call-in on my way up to Monroe for what started out to be an absolute phenomenal weekend. But before I get into that, let's just maybe a round of applause, Dave. Congratulations to the 2021 Lakeshore Titans baseball team, right? Finished in the made it to the quarterfinals. Went up to Monroe last weekend and lost. So shout out to Coach Skinner, Coach Nunez, Coach Battistella, some of the program legends, Chris Westcott, former Coach Saravalo, who put together, a lot of these folks. So it was, again, what started out as the team really came together towards the end of the year. It was really nice to see that. But the weekend started out with game one as the team, we played Neville. Guy had a perfect game going into the sixth inning. We were down 3-0. A perfect game. And for y'all who aren't baseball novice, what a perfect game means is this. A perfect game means that not a walk, didn't give up a walk, nor any hits up to that point in the game. And our pitcher, Sauber, kid's a stud, was shutting them down. It was 3-0. Well, imagine you pitch a perfect game, and we wound up winning 4-3. So you need one more game to get into the championship, to go to Sulphur, which is where I wish I was right now, maybe doing the show from the LaBerge, floating around in the lazy river, because the game wouldn't be tonight. But game two, we're up, down to one strike, and their guy gets a little bloop hit to tie it 3-3. 2 innings of scoreless ball. We're the bottom half of the team. We're the home team. Bases are loaded for them. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes, everything you can imagine. Pitcher throws the ball, in my opinion, maybe I'm a little biased, but even their side calls ball 4, which in that situation, one of the things I've always taught the kids I coach and players, don't leave it up to the umpire, because 99.9% of the time, they're going to call a strike there. Well, this guy called a walk, called a ball. So they go up 4-3. Next kid comes up and jacks one that's probably still going. So they wound up winning game 2, 8-3, where we were 1 strike away from going to the championship. And the next game, we come out and score 3 in the top half of the third, right? They clear the stands, all that BS. We come back, score 3 in the top of the first inning. So we're like, oh, we're in. Hey, we battle back. They put an 11 spot up in the bottom. So what do they say? I think my day used to say Katie bought the door, or Katie bought a door, whatever that saying means. But whatever it was over at that point, and the season was done. So that's what was going on in the world last weekend for Mortgage Gumbo. Appreciate those who tooted, driving up to Monroe with the Mortgage Gumbo mobile. That was fun. And, the person who tried to run me off the road while on air, I mean, hey, I know who you are. I know who you work for. Don't be mad, because our rates are better in our service. So, anyway, that brings us back here. And now we're back, and it's one of those situations where, hey, you got to love it. My son now, he goes from ending freshman year with that to right back at it for football. Love the kid. He's amazing. Back out there with Coach Craig Jones. Got the football. They're doing some spring stuff right now. So that Monday, immediately right back on the football field. So no break for him, no break for the parents, and go from there. So what has been going on since last week? Well, look, and we keep it real here, so we're going to get into interest rates, and interest rates are back doing all kinds of crazy different things. We're keeping that. We're monitoring that. We're making sure that everything's good when it comes to the interest rates, making sure that you are informed. But, one of the things I want to go over real quick is I'm tired of seeing all these articles about how single-family homes, affordability, how high prices are going, and home prices rise in 99% of metro areas in 2021, first quarter. Well, let me ask each one of y'all this. And to me, this is kind of a duh moment, but isn't the goal, they say the American dream is to be a homeowner. Isn't the reason being is because homes appreciate? So I'm really confused by why they're trying to continue to act like, and I don't want them to try to spin its affordability and all this stuff. But they continue to talk about and make news almost like this is a bad thing. And it's not. It's not. The fact is, and we don't know what's going to happen now, but up until this election, incomes were rising, people were spending more money, debt's down, right? So you're making more money, you got less debt, you got a higher credit score. What do you think that's going to lead to? That's going to lead to houses going up because people can afford more, right? So I just, appreciation has always been a great thing. Always been a great thing. But when you look at, you have to understand the other reason is also the days of 20% down, it's over. While we have folks that do it, yes. But the reason why it's up is 20% down is no longer necessary. 20% down on somebody buying a $140,000 house, right? That would be $28,000. Now they could get in for 3% or rural development, no money. So that's why. So that $140,000 house, if I don't have to put money down, now I could pay for $140,000. That same house, I could pay $180,000, and that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing, and that's one of the reasons why I just don't like to see them keep acting like, hey, home prices rose in 99% of metro areas. Good. That's exciting about being a homeowner. That is the ultimate savings account, is your home. The ultimate. That's why so many people take advantage of the refi. And let me tell you this, folks out there that are saying, hey, it's slowing up, it's dying down. No, it's not. No, it is not. At Mortgage Gumbo, we've been as busy as we've ever been. Now, has a lot of the business focused or shifted towards purchases? Yes. But we're still lining up record numbers of refinances. We're just seeing a lot more cash-out refinances because people want to take advantage because of what we just stated. Home prices are up. I have great amount of equity. Rates are still low. Let me take advantage of that. So that's what you're seeing. So don't buy, like I tell y'all, don't trust the headlines. Tune in to Mortgage Gumbo if you want to know the facts, because this is the home show. This is where for almost 7 years we've been providing education and options. Okay? We've got a lot to come today. Listen, we're going to talk about how much home can you afford. We're going to discuss that. But on the other side of the break, I got some key dates that are coming up, and it may affect some of you, so you don't want to miss that, plus Rate Watch. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. Hey, join us. Call in, dare you. 504-260-0995. Right. What up, Instagram? Yes, indeed. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What up, Leslie? You'll be a homeowner this week, young lady. Excited. I love working with my old high school friends. Been friends with forever. Used to go to the same parties with. Back in the day, Dave, when you were growing up, Dave, was spin the bottle cool?
Yeah, you're not that much older than me, bro. We just sound young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody's like, you don't look that old. I'm like, well.
You should see my liver.
I feel it. Yeah. I feel it. What's up, Nathaniel? How you doing, my man? My boy Nathaniel, building him a little forever home, building him a little dream home. Came to Mortgage Gumbo, little one-time close, making it happen. Be wrapping that bad boy up in the next week or so.
Ten seconds.
We back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. Hey, if you want to join the show, 504, well, I just said that, or send an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. This segment's brought to you by the Fence King. Visit fencethisyard.com. Fencethisyard.com. And the King, he does it again. He's brought you to virtual fence design, and they're the king. The Fence King is offering galvanized tropical storm-proof post. And wood posts, if you don't know, they're a thing of the past. Get a better, stronger built fence, and he guarantees it. Visit fencethisyard.com. Over 250-plus five-star reviews. The dude's the man. Enjoyed meeting with him this week. Visit fencethisyard.com. Fencethisyard.com. Got a great story, and this is from Jeff, your mortgage BFF. Y'all, Jeff sometimes will fill in on the show. But years ago, I had a client that dad listens to the show, and we get that a lot. Hey, my dad told me to call you. Or mom told me to call you. Actually, our lady listenership is way up, so I'm excited about that. I think if I lose a little bit more weight, we could probably get that up even better. But that's just my opinion. So maybe we'll work on that. But her father was a Mortgage Gumbo listener. She came to us. She had been turned down by several other schmuckatellis, and first-time home buyer, that, again, there's no such thing as a first-time home buyer program. I'm just letting you know she was a first-time home buyer, had no money to put down. We were able to get her into one of our special programs, and they were just so grateful that she was able to become a homeowner. Well, we followed up with her middle of last year saying, how's everything going? Is there anything we can do for you? The rates are down, anything like that. Jeff was doing a great job following up and found out that this particular client, single mom, works her tail off, was having some medical issues. And she really just needed to stay focused on that at the time and making sure that she was getting that taken care of. And then I'm sorry, she's not single. She's married. I apologize about that. But a single income family. So she finally called in the beginning of the year after medical. She got her clear diagnosis, which is, hey, that's more important than anything. That's more important than any number on a piece of paper. That's for sure. And guess what? She closed this past week. We were able to reduce her payment by 28%, so over $277 a month with a lower rate. And that's just when you're looking out for people and always making sure that you do the right thing. These type of things can happen. And so many of you call all the time because you're like, man, I don't like what my current lender is trying to do to me. I don't feel that it's comfortable. But that is why we have Snap, Send, and Save Dadcam. Snap, Send, and Save is kind of your virtual ability to get a free second look, right? You could send your info there. Or, I mean, dozens upon dozens weekly, sometimes daily. People just want to know, especially Mondays and Tuesdays. They just want to know, is now a right time for me to be able to, should I be refinancing? Should I purchase a home? How much can I afford? Right? Which is why we're going to have our topic later on. And that's what Snap, Send, and Save Dadcom does for you. Also, the fast track, we've been talking about this. We just closed the loan this week. Okay, I'm sorry, we're closing it Monday. So it's cleared to close. 9 days. So Schmuckatelli's out there. I beg you. I beg you. Please. Continue to say, no way Mortgage Gumbo can close loans in less than 15 days. Please continue to say that. Because soon we may be saying 10 days. So we got one this week at 9, and we got one that'll be cleared to close next week. That'll be 12 days. So, and that's because of the fast track. You're able to go in and make an offer and put the pressure on the seller. Right now, the pressure's on the buyers. We're trying to reverse that trend with the fast track. So when you go visit Snap, Send, and Save, you click on purchase, click on that you want to do fast tracking, and then you are credit, asset, and income approved. It's unbelievable. And our buyers are winning with less than best offers because they have the certificate that's almost equivalent to cash. And that's why we're closing these loans so fast, so fast. And got a call this week. We talked a couple weeks about not giving up your contingencies. Well, guess what? Caller this week said thank you because the person that was wanting to bid over her, financing fell through. So they came to her, and she had in her offer, won't do any inspection. Well, guess what? When they came to her, she said, well, now I want an inspection. They said, yeah, that's fine. Well, our boys at 360 went out there, and guess what? There was mold painted over, black mold. All the wiring was wired incorrectly. It was a fire hazard. And you know why? And I get it. And it's not, I'm not mad at the investor, but this was a fix and flip that the guy was just trying to turn a quick profit. Don't give up your contingencies. Don't give up your rights to those properties. So let's get into a couple dates that you've got to make sure that you are aware of, okay? One of them is, let me find it. And it happened last week. the judge struck down the national moratorium on evictions, basically stating that, yeah, you're going to have to start getting out of the homes, right? We're not going to continue to allow this forbearance. So it got kicked down again. It was supposed to end in March. Now it's to June 30th for the homes. So be prepared. Landlords are cheering all over the place because right now, really, the only way a landlord can get that tenant out is sell the home. Maybe that's a hint for you if you didn't know. The only way that landlord can get that person out that's in forbearance not paying, sell the home. Which is something else Biden wants to abolish his capital gains loophole. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about, I'm going to educate you on what's called a 1031 exchange, what it does and how you benefit, what are the benefits and why. And if that goes away, major issues for a lot of you who are using that, who are home investors or who own property. The other one that you need to be aware of, and we need to keep an eye on this, because this is the one here. I mean, it's not affecting mortgages by any means because we still have to count it, but student loans. Everybody's been on a student loan holiday for a long time. A long time. And unlike mortgages where if you want to refinance, you got to make sure and show now that if you've been in a forbearance that you're out of it and you've been making at least 2 payments. Student loans hasn't been that way. So September 30th is when the pause on student loan payments goes away. So June 30th and September 30th. Those are some big, big dates. So if you know folks that have student loans, let them know that's what's coming. Big dates there. And then June 30th as well. You know, when you start seeing judges striking this stuff down, hey, this week, who knows? Now all of a sudden it's okay to go outside without mask. Who knew? So that's good, good stuff there. But with the dates, again, June 30th for the forbearances and the eviction moratorium. So what that means is you could start getting evicted and different things like that, okay? And then for student loans, September 30th. Let's get into our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. Listen, rates aren't going to sound real different. But, man, they were all over the place this week. That's why you have to be working with a lender that is looking out for you, a lender that knows the trends, a lender that reads the trends, okay? It's like that fisherman who catches a buttload of fish the one time they go out, and then they go back to that spot a year later, and they don't catch anything. The fish have moved. Well, guess what? I'm watching what's going on, making sure that my folks are always taken care of and locked in at the best possible rate. So with that being, and you can't call me today and say, hey, I want to lock in. I had a guy call me who I haven't heard from in January, said he wants to buy a house, and yelled at me because his rate wasn't locked in. Like, that's not how it works. I'm not holding my money up. So 30-year was at 3.12, is at 3.14. 15-year was at 2.55, is at 2.58. We are locking in cash out refinances in the twos. In the twos. Had a client this week say she didn't believe it, and I'm going to take the onus on this. Maybe I just didn't do a good enough job of breaking it down. She got 2.875, getting $50,000 and lowering her mortgage from 4.125, and said she didn't believe it. It was too good to be true. She didn't want to move forward. FHA, 2.68. Jumbo, 3.13. The 5-1 ARM, 2.25. Ludicrous if you're even thinking about it. And I'm amazed on how many people are on 10-1 ARMs. And then VA continues to be in the upper twos. So Hey, if you've got any questions when it comes to rate, listen, visit snapsendandsave.com. We'll look at it. It's a free review. We will let you know if it makes sense to get a loan. On the other side of the break, how much mortgage should I buy based on my income? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
All right, 4 minutes. Coffee break.
What up, what up, what up, Gumbo Nation? What up, Instagram? Holla, holla. I don't know why I act like that when I'm trying to be cool. Yes, all of you, I want to be clear. Every one of you, this is another T-shirt Po' Boy special. But every single one of you listening, I want everybody to understand this is my gift to you, and it's absolutely free. But every single one of you out there is entitled to my opinion. Use it. Use it for your own good. Use it to change the world. You can use my opinion on anything, on everything. It's like hot sauce. It's delicious on everything. So's my opinion. Just ask me, I'll tell you. Oh, my God, he's alive. What's up, Jay? Big timer. My man. What up, Milan? Bart. Randy. Emil. The Fence King. Celebrated a big birthday yesterday. Beth Darkan. You're amazing. One of the coaches. What up, Boomer? The man.
Two minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, wait, no, that's
6
Iron
minutes,
Maiden.
Dougie. 6 minutes, Dougie.
That's Iron Maiden. 2 minutes to midnight. What's up, Kathy? Rachel, Stacy, yes. We all and Fuego. And Fuego. It's got a good question. I like it. I like when people want to just call me out real quick. I like that.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds to lift off, Gumbo Nation. Oh, yeah, we rocking out today, little Motley Crue. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. Or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. This segment's brought to you by Solar Alternatives. Solar Alternatives, the Gulf South's leader in solar battery backup and energy management systems. They've been serving Louisiana, Mississippi, and they're really nationwide as well since 2008. Sleek, retro, and clean. I mean, my roof never looked so fine with these panels on them. And let me tell you this, ask about the tax credit. I took advantage of it, and you can as well. And want to talk about peace of mind? This week, you know this weather's been absolutely crazy. On Tuesday, everybody around the block, even the library that's across from me, all the residences, they were all out of power. But you know who won? Mortgage Gumbo. You know who's still helping make your dreams come true? Mortgage Gumbo, because we got solar alternatives. Visit Solalt, SOLALT.com, Solalt.com. So just got a great question, right? And that's fine. I don't mind being challenged. If you know me and people, when I talk to them, they love it, right? They go, hey, hit me with a dad cam when they call in. You normally can't believe they're talking to me, but I just got a great question. Dwayne, why do you continue to talk about your approval helping when others offer the same thing? Well, no, they don't, John, okay? And John, maybe you're a lender, and that's fine. Look, my information's free here, brother. But the difference between what we do and what others do is we credit, income, and asset approved. It goes before an underwriter who reviews it with the investor and says, yes, we are willing to buy in this loan on the secondary market. Okay? That's where your loans go. They get bought on a secondary market. They're called mortgage-backed securities. So that is the difference. That is why we're able to say it's almost like cash, because we give you the certificate on how much it's valued up to. And that's why you could go in and do a 15-day offer, because we've collected everything. Everything's been reviewed. There's no surprises. There's no, I got to get money from Aunt Sally or I'm going to get a gift. That's all done. So take an extra 48 hours in the beginning to save you weeks, and losing out on properties in the end. Listing agents, tell them you want a Mortgage Gumbo fast track. So that way you don't have to go back to your seller and go, hey, we picked the person that offered the most, but you know what? They really don't have $20,000 over asking price to bring in because we didn't see that bank account. Well, you know what? We have. All right, let's get into our main topic this week. And just to add on that, too, 64% in April was the national average of homes going into bidding wars. So that's why, John, ours is different. We're trying to change the tide. We love our sellers. But at the same time, we want our buyers to be able to get in the game and have a fair opportunity to get in that house. 64% of homes right now are going through bidding wars. So that's where the fast track comes into play. So how much money do I need and can I afford on a home? Well, it's unique when you say this, because here's what I've learned. And I mentioned this earlier. I'll get somebody that makes $40,000 who wants a $300,000 house. I got somebody that makes $40,000. Maybe they're both teachers, and they want a $70,000 house. So what I want to do right now is sort of give you an idea. And you could go to mortgagegumbo.com. All right, I've got a calculator in there, a mortgage calculator. It gives you an idea. But that's why we've got, I know, listen, I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face because it's working. We're helping hundreds upon hundreds, thousands since we've rolled it out last April with SnapSendAndSave.com. We take the guesswork out of how much can I, who, what, where, when, how, why. We remove all that. So when you're looking at how much can you afford based on your income? Okay, one of the things I talk and discuss with my clients all the time is this. What you can afford and what you are willing to pay, listeners, is usually two different things, right? My son, he's sporting $160 Yeezys or whatever they calling it. I'm rocking the BGs from Academy, right? Now, can I afford to buy those as well? Yeah, but I choose on what I want to do, right? When I go home and cut the grass or sweat my rear end after I do my shows today, I don't want to have to worry about, let me take off these shoes and put these shoes on. Now, they're $20, $30, whatever. So that's where, when you're talking about it, you have to know. And again, fast track, because what you can afford and what you're willing to pay is two separate things. That's a big, big difference. And that's why today what we're going to advise you on is what the standards are, right? Just what the standards are, so you have an idea. So when you're going to Mortgage Gumbo, Dad Cam, and you're playing around with that calculator, you sort of get an idea, okay? And then the other thing I'm going to tell you is shoot me an email. I've put together a What's My Number sheet that explains everything to you, so you can get a whole list of what those debts are that you don't even realize. Because we don't count we don't count auto insurance. We don't count cell phones in your debt to income ratios. Okay? So let's start by advising this. Okay? As lenders, your income based on how much you can afford and what you're going to pay is what we call that is DTI, or debt to income ratio. Now, you have two of those, listeners. You have front end and you have back end. Your front end ratio is your home only. That is you'll hear all the time, PITI. That's your principal, interest, taxes, and insurances. And if you've got condo dues or association fees or homeowners association, see, I'm here to tell you that plays into it. A lot of these other folks go, it's your principal and interest, taxes, and insurances. Well, you got to count all that. And then you have the back end, which includes your front end, which is your mortgage payment, and all your costs associated with your mortgage, along with other debts, student loans, credit cards, auto, any installment loans. But not like I told you, not like I just mentioned. It's not your utilities. It's not your auto insurance. It's not your cell phone bills. That's why I've created what we call is What's My Number, because it's a form that you could sit there and write down, because a lot of people don't realize what they're paying for. And that's why when you visit snapsendandsave.com, I tell you, eliminate all those things. Eliminate your rent, because you're not going to be paying rent. A lot of time people put rent in there, and then I get with them and they're like, oh, no, I don't. That's $1,200 more than what I really pay because that's my rent. Okay? So that's why we have the What's My Number form for you. So understand that. There's two ratios. There's the front end debt to income ratio and your back end debt to income ratio. All right? Now you've got the programs that have what they allow, what ratios they allow within them. So the programs we're going to cover today on the other side of the break is this: rural development, VA, FHA, and conventional. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss that, because you're going to walk away knowing exactly how to figure out how much home you can afford. I'm giving you a little bit of a cheat sheet here for yourself. Okay? So we discussed front-end ratio is your home alone, right? Your principal, interest, taxes, and insurances, and any homeowner's dues or association fees. And then your back end, which is all your debts plus your front end. On the other side, we're going to break down each program like I mentioned. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. Still time to join the show, 504-260-0995, or shoot an email to info at mortgagegumbo.com. What up? What up?
One minute. Ten seconds.
You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. Or you can email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Also, just a reminder, hey, my day job, I'm a lender. 504-207-7600. Got somebody always standing by to answer your question. So we're talking about what does my income afford me to purchase. So we just mentioned in the previous segment front-end and back-end ratios, okay? So let's go through these programs, all right? Let's start with rural development, okay? That is a no money down. That is 100% financing, okay? So naturally with that, there's some income limitations, okay, you need to know. So if you have a family and it's less than 5 people, then it's $93,000. If it's 5 or more, then it's $119,000, okay, or $121, something like that in that area. Sorry, I keep it on my desktop. So that's when it comes to income. So there's some limit. You have hard stops there. If you're under a 680 credit score, then your front-end ratio has to be a 29. Keep in mind, this is no money down. Now, if your credit score is over a 680, then your front-end ratio has to be a 32% or less. And 32.1, you will not get approved. And that's with your taxes and insurances. So many of you call and you're excited about buying a home, but you forget, especially when it comes to condos. because they throw out the $300 condo association dues. So that's something there. So when it comes to rural development, your front-end ratio, when it comes to your mortgage only, is 29 if you're less than a 680 and 32 if you're above a 680. And then usually the back end can't be above 40%. Now, if you're above a 680, I've gotten them approved up to 45% with rural development. Now, let's jump into VA. VA's got some good leniencies. They will tell you that 41% is the top, okay? But that's incorrect, all right? VA, look, we get veterans approved sometimes in the mid-50%, and this is on your back end. VA doesn't have a front end, so to speak, with just your mortgage, all right? So VA is very, very lenient. We want to help veterans, as we should, with no PMI, no mortgage insurance, or anything like that. Now, what we're talking about are purchases right here. But just so you know, I've gotten people, if you're a veteran and you have a VA loan right now, I've gotten people approved on VA IRRRLs in the mid-60% back-end ratio. Okay? I'm not even back-end because it's mortgage only. So 60% on just the mortgage. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to VA, you're looking at 41% is their number. Now, all the numbers I'm giving you right now are industry, and you can't see me, but I'm on Facebook using air quotes. It's industry standards. So if you call the bank or you call your traditional lender, that may be what they tell you and hold you to as well. Well, at Mortgage Gumbo, we are approved to sell direct to Fannie, Freddie, and Ginnie Mae. So that's why we're able to go so much higher in every single one of these categories outside of RD, which then it's credit score driven. So VA, 41%. Industry standard. We get them approved over 50% all the time. FHA. Again, government loan. FHA means it's backed by the federal government, Federal Housing Authority. Back ends up to 55%. 55%. No minimums on your front end. We've done VA loans that they have no debt or they got very minimal debt and their front end's approved at 46 and their back end's 48. If your credit score is solid. So there's opportunity there when it comes to FHA. Again, what do we talk about? Maybe FHA is a little bit more of your challenged credit, right? We've got challenged credit there. Maybe you're coming out of a bankruptcy, and you know what? You don't want to wait 4 years for one of the conventional products. So maybe you look at FHA there because you can buy a house 2 years with Chapter 7s. You could buy while in a Chapter 13, as long as you can show proof that you've been paying it for a year. So that's where FHA comes into play, okay? But we get those approved up to 55% on the back end. Now, if you're under a 620 with FHA, I could tell you right now what I'm seeing is, and I don't want to say tightening of standards by any means, and this has always sort of been the case, but I want you to kind of know what to expect. First thing we're going to look at is what can we do to get you above a 620? But if there's nothing we can do, sometimes you may have to put up more down payment. But that beats renting. I did one in January. I've told you all about this. 549 credit score. 549 is the score that we used. But they sold a house, put down 30%, and were able to get an approval. That doesn't mean every 549 call and go, hey, do what you did for that other person. Doesn't mean it's going to work, especially if you don't have 10, 15, 20% to put down. So keep that in mind. Conventional. Conventional is, they'll tell you 43% is the max on the back end. Again, nothing on the front end. As a reminder, for those who might have just popped in, front end is just your housing debt-to-income ratio by itself. Principal, interest, tax, and insurance, homeowners, any association fees. Back end is home payments, right? Your home debt plus other debt, cars, student loans, installment loans, credit cards, etc. So in a conventional, depending on how strong your score is, the standard, again, make it with me, air quotes, the standard's 43%. However, that's if you go and see a schmuckatelli. If you're coming to us, we do them all the time. And it's called DU, Desktop Underwriter, or LP, Loan Prospector, which is Freddie Mac versus Fannie Mae. And because we're a direct lender to them, what that tells you is DU, we can go up to 50%, depending on how strong your score is. But we can also go over 50 on a conventional loan, sometimes with Freddie. The other thing we can do with Freddie is when you got people that tell you, oh, I need 2 years of to be self-employed for 2 years. No, you don't. We've been closing people who are 1 year self-employed and file taxes for 1 year because Freddie allows that.
2 minutes.
Freddie allows that. So if you're sitting on the sideline thinking, hey, I can't, Freddie does allow that. So, again, shoot me an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com or visit mortgagegumbo.com to see the payment calculator. But if you shoot me an email, I'll get you the what's my number worksheet so you can kind of break that down. And I just got a question during the show just now, so I'll cover this real quick. How can I afford more home based on the percentages you're giving me, the ratios you're giving me? Look, the numbers are what they are. You could earn more, right? I mean, that's the general answer. Well, of course. Who don't want to earn more money? But you could also tweak things, and that's where a good lender comes into play. A few weeks ago, got a guy approved. You know why? We got rid of his $350 payment on his auto because by paying $2,000, he owed $5,000, $5,500. We got him under $3,500. That $350 went away because it was less than 10 payments. He was able to go pick up another $60,000 in-house because of that. So does your lender know how to work the numbers in your favor? That's the key. You've been listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio. Call me doing my day job. I'm a lender. I lend my money. 504-207-7600. Until next week, Gumbo Nation. Keep stir in the pot.